today I want to dive into something that I see often in my client work. It's something that many of us are dealing with. It can crop up in so many different places, and it's called emotional overwhelm. You're just overwhelmed emotionally with life, with stuff, and you don't know what to do with it. This can be from family, it can be from friends, it can be relationships, it can be work, it can be social media, it can come from so many different places. That feeling that we're going 100 miles an hour all the time, and we don't know how to jump off, we don't know how to stop, we don't know how to slow down and control it, but we're inside, we're thinking, do you know what, I can't do one more thing, I'm gonna explode. And this is real. This is happening for many of us, and it's not always shown. Someone can look completely together, that like they've got all their shizzle together, and yet underneath they've got this bubbling feeling of complete overwhelm, emotional overwhelm, like they could burst into tears, they could get angry any moment. We can keep it hidden from the people around us because we want to look like we're coping with everything, but it can be a really big burden to carry around. So my name is Diane. I am a qualified counsellor, but I'm also a Reiki practitioner, and I know from my own personal experiences that this emotional overload, this emotional overwhelm doesn't just affect our mind, it can also affect our body, our soul, our energy. It can really throw our energy off and make us feel like we're not coping with life. So today I want to share how I approach overwhelm, how I've dealt with it in the past, how I've calmed it in the past. But I also want to look at it with some counselling tools and also some spiritual practices. And stay to the end if you're liking what you hear, because I've also put a little bonus practice in there for you to offer you to try. Let's start to recognise that overwhelm can hit us from two different levels. So emotionally, it can hit us with that never-ending to-do list. I know that from my own personal experience, and also my mum, who is 80, has still got a to-do list very, very long. So does that resonate with you? Have you got a to-do list that never seems to end? Emotionally, also that guilt of saying no. You've got this struggle to say no to things. And then there's that feeling like we've got to hold everything together. If we don't, something bad's going to happen. So emotionally, we've got to hold it together. That can feel like a pressure. Then there's that energetic overwhelm. That overwhelm when your energy is just off, when you feel like certain people can drain you. That feeling when you can walk into a room and certain people don't feel right, and that's nothing against those people, they just don't feel right for your energy, and that energetic overwhelm can start to build that nervousness. Some people call it anxiety. Those anxious thoughts start coming in. That tension can build without anybody even saying a word. You can just feel it. Recognize that in your body. That's your body trying to tell you something. You might feel that in your solar plexus, and I have done another video on our chakras, but our solar plexus is just above our belly button. You might feel that knot in that area. You might feel it in your root chakra, which is at the base of our spine. You might feel a little bit shaky. You might feel a little bit ungrounded, uncertain, unbalanced. Listen to these signals. I never used to listen to them, but I listen to them now. I'm going to give you 3 counselling strategies that can ease that emotional overload, that can help us notice it, and it can help quieten it a little bit. And remember, all these things are stepping stones. This is going to take practice. If you've been sitting with this for a while, like some of my clients have, this is going to take a new habit, like when you go to the gym, like when you're learning a new language. Notice if you try and tell yourself off because you're not getting it straight away. Ease into this. Practice, let these things become a habit for you before they are sat and they become something that you just do without even thinking, like you did when you were driving. I know when I was first driving, I would get in that car and I'd think, right, mirror, signal, manoeuvre. I get in that car and I don't even think now, and this is what we want to be doing with our body. We don't even want to think about this. We want to just be doing these things, but that can take time. So the first thing I want to offer you from a counselling point of view is do a check-in. Check in, ask yourself, what am I feeling here? Is there something my body's telling me? What is my body telling me? You can use something called a feelings wheel, which I've done another video of, and it can really take you deeper into, oh, I feel angry. What do I feel angry about? It can take you to different levels of it. If your thing is journaling, again, it hasn't got to be a posh book. It can just be Write it down, a few words from that check-in. How do I feel? What is going on here? It can really help sometimes just naming it rather than it going round and round and round like a mouse on a wheel. You're naming the feelings you've got. You're naming those emotions that came up for you. And sometimes just naming it can take away the intensity of it. The second strategy I'd like to offer to you is prioritize and let go. So I prioritize your thoughts and see what you can let go. Until you're looking and you're checking in and you're recognizing them, you're not going to know what you can let go of and what you want to keep. You could ask yourself every morning, okay, I feel this. What have I got to prioritize and what haven't I got to prioritize? What can I let go of today? What have I been led to believe in the past is important, but actually, can I really let that go? Because remember, we carry a lot of the things that we're taught from when we're in our younger years. We then believe that's a fact and that is important, and it's not always. In our world, if we think about it, we can make a different choice to let it go. But until we think about these things, we just sit with those old patterns. The third strategy I would like to offer you is called thought reframing. When you get a thought come in, ask yourself, is this true? Or is this my inner critic? Is this my inner critic? Or is this something that somebody else would have said to me in the past? We can often change if we recognize them. The I must, I should, I must do it all, I should do it all. I should be able to cope with this. Everybody else looks like they're coping. I should be able to do this. They're harsh words. Would we say that to a friend? Is there a way that we can be gentler to ourselves? Is there a way that we can be more compassionate to ourselves? Is there a way you could say that differently to yourself? Now I want to offer you 3 spiritual practices, 3 spiritual tools that you can put in your toolbox that you can just do anytime during the day that can help that energy. The first thing is grounding, and I've done this often and I have mentioned it in another video. If you are feeling that overwhelm rising and coming, kick off your shoes. It doesn't matter how big your garden is. If you haven't got a garden, is there a space around you that you could just get out for 5 minutes and kick off your shoes and just put your bare feet on the earth? If you've never done it, you are in for a treat, because seriously, just getting your feet on the ground, empty your brain if you can. You can visualize the roots growing from your feet. Breathe in that calm, breathe out that tension. Literally feel like you're pushing that tension away. And again, this takes practice, but it's a practice that is beneficial for your body, for your emotional overwhelm, for your energy. The second practice that I'd like to offer you is sound, because often calming us, calming our energy, overload that we can get can be about tapping into our senses, and one gentle sound wave can calm our nervous system. So if you've got a singing bowl, sit and just tap the singing bowl. Listen to a wind chime that you may have in your garden or somebody else's garden. Listen, tap a bell. You might live in a really busy area, a really loud area. So if you've got some headphones, stick those headphones in so you can just tune in and just blot out that noise for 5 minutes. You deserve it. We deserve 5 minutes. The third spiritual practice that I'd like to offer you to try is visualization. Just shut your eyes for 5 minutes and just visualize a light around you. Visualize a golden light, a white light, a rainbow. Put that bubble around you, that protective cloak around you. This isn't for you to shut out the world. This is just to steady you for a moment. This is just for you to steady for a moment, stop for a moment and center yourself. And to know that there's something bigger out there than that overwhelm that you're actually feeling. So if you're still here with me on this video, thank you for staying here. So you're in for a treat, because I'm going to offer you, as promised, just a little bonus tip. And it's something that you can try quickly. It's just 2-3 minutes. It's something you can do daily, and it's really checking back in with your body. So I thought we could do it together. So if you've got time, if you've not got time, save this video and come back to it. It's a practice that can help align us. It can help us bring us back. So if you want to do it with me now, stand or sit or lay, whatever feels right for you, and take in 3 slow breaths. Really slow your breathing down, really connect to that breathing. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And then place your hand on your chest, on your heart, or your belly, whatever one feels right for you, and ask in your mind or out loud, what do I need right now? Visualise that light running through you, any colour that feels calming to you. Let that light just run through you like water. Let it just rinse over you. And then finish with an affirmation that feels good for you. I am grounded. I am loved. I am clear. I am supported. And then sit for however long you've got. But just give yourself those 2 minutes each morning or at the end of each day and see if it makes a difference. Even just doing that with you, I feel a calmness. I don't know whether you can feel that. I'd really like to hear in the comments if you do, just doing that. Watch what you're telling yourself. You're not too sensitive. You're not weak. You're in tune with your body. This overwhelm that you're feeling, your body is trying to tell you something. So feel proud of yourself. Wow, check my body out. It's trying to tell me that I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm doing too much. I need to bring something. I need to make changes. I need to choose differently. It's not that you can't cope. Your body is saying something to you. Overwhelm is a signal from your body. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. When we tend to our emotions and our energy, that's when we start feeling imbalanced. And you might have your own practices that you've completely forgotten to do. So if the ones that I've shared don't feel aligned for you, don't do them. Find your own, find different ones. I'm just offering them to you because these are the things that I've done and that I've offered to clients that have really helped and made a difference. Are you recognising that you've got this overwhelm and you've not really done anything with it? You've just been trying to stuff it down. You've been trying to push it down. Do you get that overwhelm and what do you do with it? What's your process? If you try any of the practice that I've offered, I'd love you to come back and share how that felt for you. You might want to check out my videos on boundaries, and also there's one on chakras and the feelings wheel. What I'll do, I shall put a link to those below because they fit in really beautifully with what we've shared today. They're all connected. So listening to these could really start helping you see why you feel some of the things that you feel and how you can make changes, how you've got choices out there. Because sometimes when we're feeling like this, we don't realise that we've actually got choices and there are tools right at our fingertips that are quick and easy. Because sometimes we think, gosh, I've got so much to do, I cannot fit in something else. But just for 5 minutes can make such a difference. So if there's people in your world that you feel this could help, please share this with them. And if it feels aligned to you, subscribe so that you get more of my videos in the future. Thank you for listening. It really, really does make a difference knowing that there's people that this is helping. So I wish you and hope for you a fabulous day, a wonderful week and month, and I shall see you in the next video.